Hello everyone, this is the LEGO Star Wars Elite Praetorian Guard Battle Pack. And this is a pretty straightforward figure pack, but I actually have issues with the selection of figures in this pack. So I'll talk about that, but first let's just take a look at the figures themselves up close. Each of these Praetorian Guards has a unique weapon equipped by default, and there's also one additional weapon included in the set. You can see how those are built, and obviously the set does give you a very generous number of nice red-colored lightsaber hilt pieces for making your own custom stuff if you would like. Looking beyond the accessories here, you get 3 figures with 2 different helmet styles, 2 of one style, 1 of another, and the torsos are identical. The hips are identical. The legs are identical. Notice that these have standard style legs, unlike the first Praetorian Guards that we got in the original set to include them. And yeah, everything is just the same between them. They do not have any faces. Their heads are just plain red minifig heads with no prints whatsoever, which I think is perfectly fine. You know, we never see their faces in universe anyway, at least up to this point, we have not. And yeah, it just makes everything nice and even. I think that the prints on those torsos are very good. And introducing versions of these with regular legs instead of using the same kind of a robe style lower piece again just gives us more variety, which is certainly a good thing. And then there's this dude. And let me not mince words, this is a filler figure. It's just a regular First Order Stormtrooper, which I think looks very good, personally. They've updated these. That doesn't really change anything for me. I think they looked good to begin with. They still look good, with the exception of the blaster. You know, I hope that one day LEGO will wake up and just give fans what they want and include a regular, good-looking, you know, slightly more scale realistic blaster that doesn't actually shoot as an option for people who want that, for the many adults and teens and kids who want good looking little blasters that don't shoot. You can still include the stud shooters in a set, but include the good looking blasters also, because it hardly cost anything to produce and to include. Angry Clone face under there, it's tired by now, but it is what it is. I think the figure itself looks good, but doesn't belong in this pack. Before I talk about the side build, let's talk about this number of Praetorian Guards here. In The Last Jedi, in that wonderful scene where we get to see these wonderful red dudes who are so cool, there are 8 Praetorian Guards. So, why would LEGO not include 4 Praetorian Guards in a Praetorian Guards battle pack? So that you could just buy 2 of them and have a full team. Well, I already talked about that. My issues with the math here when the pack was first announced, the battle pack was, and shockingly, I got a lot of pushback from viewers about that, saying that, well, there's some very, very basic arithmetic that I, JANG, obviously just can't comprehend. If you get 2 of these battle packs, as they are designed by LEGO, who knows what they're doing, you get 6 Praetorian Guards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Simple math. Then, if you also buy the Snoke's Throne Room set, you get 2 more. 6, 7, 8. You get 8 in total, which is the correct number. Duh. Well, now that this battle pack has actually been released, and I can talk about it in person, let me destroy that retort. The set that includes these 2 costs $70. Nobody wants to pay $70 for 2 Praetorian Guards. The rest of the set was not worth the rest of the $70. Anybody who just wants Praetorian Guards should be able to buy a Praetorian Guard pack, and should be able to buy 2 of them, since each pack comes with 4 figures, should be able to buy 2 of them and get 8, spending $30 US, rather than having to spend $30 US here and then another $70 for these 2 final figures, a total of $100. Which sounds better to you? I will tell you which sounds better to me. $30 to me sounds better than $100 to get a full pack, to get a full team of Praetorian guards. This was a total mistake. The math is simple. Should have had 4 Praetorian guards in this Praetorian Guard battle pack. Alright, what about this side build here? This is interesting to me. I believe it's non-canonical. It's not supposed to be part of Snoke's throne room or anything, but it follows along with the color scheme, which is kind of cool. This is a weapon stand off to the side, which has some clips on it to hold on to the extra weapons, and you can change out. So you have that chain. I don't recall the exact name of that style of chain equipped melee weapon, but you also get a couple of extra studs there for your stud shooter. And there's a droid. Hey, I like Star Wars droids. A little training droid with a blaster and a lightsaber that he holds on to, so you could pretend that this can be used for the sake of training. That looks much better like that. Stand is included, and speaking of stands, well, that's what all of this here is. It's just a big stand for a couple of figures to fight, to do some training. I'm not going to go ahead and do the full proper posing of 2 figures, but the idea is that you put one here, and then you put one over here, and this isn't the best matchup with long and short weapons, but it's all good. And then, they're supposed to try fighting against each other. It's, it's just a little training scene. I think it's cool, and I think this is a nice way to display at least a couple of these dudes, and if you get a couple packs, then the extras just stand around. This one's just kind of waiting his turn or something. Yeah, it's all good. A little bit of structure, I think, is nice to have rather than a vehicle, rather than making up a vehicle or something for these. Yeah, I'm perfectly satisfied with this small build. I really like the color scheme. It really works well with these guys, obviously. I mean, it's easy to do red and black, but I just think it looks proper and makes enough sense. Unlike the inclusion of just 3 Praetorian guards in an Elite Praetorian Guard battle pack, rather than 4. Yeah, major miss there, major mistake. I don't like it. Not happy about that. I like the pack, with the exception of the inclusion of a totally unnecessary filler that makes really dumb math work. I don't like dumb math. And I don't like forcing people to spend more money than they ought to. There is no sensible reason to set up the math the way that they did, if that was their intent. Expecting people to get Snoke's throne room for $70 when most folks want the Praetorian, who are interested in that at all, want the Praetorian guards. I guess Snoke, had some value in that throne room set, but he didn't really do much in the Star Wars universe, as we know it, at least in the cinematic stuff. So I think really the red dudes are what it's all about. This should have had 4 red dudes and everything would have been perfect. I built this set over on my build channel, of course. You can check that out via the link in the end screen here momentarily. It'll also be linked from the pinned comment. It's a combined video. I did one other small set build at the same time, since this is so small. And at the end of that build process, I was left with these pieces as spares, which for such a small set is a great selection, because it does include a red lightsaber hilt, a gunmetal gray lightsaber hilt, one of these very useful small robot arms, a couple of hollow studs, and one of these machete pieces. I mean, just for how small the set is, this is a great little haul of excess items. That's all I had to show for this video, though, so I will move on and talk to you later.